Good morning, everyone. Today, I thought it was time to do another garden tour because some things have changed in the garden, and it's been a few weeks since we looked at everything. So, come with me. Let's see how everything's doing. I'm going to stop here with our herbs. Everything looks good. Still looking great with the mint and the rest of the herbs. We've got a lot of visitors, a lot of pollinators to these parsley flowers, so that's interesting. In these 15-gallon grow bags over here on Melon Hill, we have some zucchini. This one I had to re-sow because it had been since the 15th of May and it hadn't sprouted yet, so I went ahead and re-sowed that one, and this one just started. It was late to germinate. I think I just probably planted them deep, but it's coming along. So I re-sowed all of the Avalon corn. This one's looking better. It's growing at a normal rate. Still have to choose one of these French squash. You guys tell me, does A or B look healthier to you? Which one should I choose? Okay, we've got zucchini and a yellow scallop squash. So the big excitement are these sweet potato slips. You remember how purple and almost dead they looked last time? Well, they have taken a turn. All of the warm weather helped. So that's great. Those two bags are looking fabulous. I have another bag here that's waiting for some more slips that I'm hardening off right now. Still don't know about these squash, the delicata squash and the sweet dumpling squash. Honestly, they probably look the same as they did 2 weeks ago, and that's not good. They're starting to get some flowers, but they just don't look healthy. I know that squash gets bigger than that. The leaves are bigger. I've given them sources of nitrogen, and they still look like that. So I am not sure what's going on in these beds with regard to my squash. This pineapple winter squash, it looks fine. It's growing. Now I put down some straw on the watermelon, but I did not put any on any of the squash because I didn't want to leave a place for squash bugs and squash vine borers to bed down and overwinter, because I have a big problem with squash bugs here in zone 8A, and I don't want to give them any help. But I did put straw mulch down in all of the melon bags, so they are going well. The sugar babies are taking their time, but they look healthy. They're just slow for some reason. This honeydew is interesting because remember I told you that one back there I started in the house on March 22nd, and these I direct sowed May the 2nd. Honestly, there's not a big difference. This one looks like it's about to flower, but other than that, for that honeydew, it's kind of almost negligible. Now, cantaloupe, it's a different story. These two little guys are the ones that I sowed on May the 2nd as well. And that cantaloupe there, I started indoors back in March the 22nd. And it looks substantially bigger and more ready to produce fruit than these little guys up front. Same with our crimson sweet watermelon. This one I started in the house back in March. This one I started outside in May. So this one out of all of the melons probably looks the healthiest. So that's that. Our tea plants, they look about the same. I started treating that one over there for fungal issues because it's got some, it looks like rust. I'm going to a tea harvesting class in a couple of weeks, so I will learn more about these tea plants, and I bought a book, but I have to read it. Venus is looking good. This is one of our ants. Oh no. If I see ants like that, let's see if you guys can, let me zoom in, see if you can see them. You see those fire ants under there? I'm not sure if you guys can see them, but there we go. So you see all of those ants under there, but then you see the green things right next to them. Those are aphids. So those ants feed on the aphids, and the aphids are feeding on the sap on your plant. I don't want any of that going on, so I'm going to go ahead and take a water hose to it. That will get rid of the aphids, and then the ants will go elsewhere. Yuck. Still a few more on there. Okay. All right, so now after we sprayed them off with some water, I don't see any more of the aphids there. Crisis averted. So I'm going to check some of the other leaves as well. Make sure there's no cluster of aphids. I've noticed that the aphids seem to like the newest leaves. I'm not sure why. Maybe they're more tender, more delicious, but I wasn't expecting those fire ants this early in the morning, and don't appreciate that. All right, it's going down here to the grapes. They're looking well, healthy, no problem. No longer trying to take rides on the swing. Okay. They're looking good. Let's go check the other Asian pear trees and make sure they don't have any aphid infestation or ant infestation because of aphids. What do we have here? Oh boy. It looks like something has made a cocoon of that leaf. And you see that there? You see that little white stuff in there? So what that tells me is I'm going to have to go ahead and just take that off. Bye. No free cocoons here in my house. Sorry. Otherwise, Phoenix is looking good. She looks good. Okay. No more cocoons. Yeah, everything looks good. All right. Good job. Let's go see Jade. Looking lovely. The fruit is starting to grow. This tree will ultimately produce, or all of them will produce more fruit if they have another tree to cross-pollinate with, another Asian pear tree to cross-pollinate with. So it will produce some fruit, but not to its full potential until it gets those other two get big enough to cross-pollinate with it. Let's go see the blueberries. They're getting close. So it's kind of neat that we'll be getting fruit this year because we just put these in this year. So those berries are getting pretty close, looking lovely. I need to do some weeding around here. And this one looks even better. Look. So pretty. Yummy looking. Okay. This is a key lime, lemongrass. This one is oh, I'm sorry, that's a Meyer lemon. This one is a key lime that may have died. I'm gonna wait until next year and see if it comes back, but not looking so good. This is another key lime that is looking good. Another lemongrass and Meyer lemon. So let's go into the main garden, which I don't think I've ever told you guys what I call it. I call the main garden Pagoda Ranch. And that's because I like a lot of Asian ingredients, and I try to grow Asian varieties of different plants. And also, this opening kind of gives me a ranch vibe as well as kind of a pagoda vibe. So we call our garden Pagoda Ranch. I need to get a big sign to put up there. That would be cool. Here's a Thompson seedless grape. It is growing up, and that's what I wanted. The goal is to have that grape come up and over. But we planted that last year, and it's doing really well. Let's go on in. You guys get to see some of those tomatoes that we salvaged from our pruning video. So here's one. I told you they do pop up in a couple of days. Here's another. And here's the third one. So they do come back. They do get roots and do really well ultimately. Here's some others that I need to give away or plant or do something with. So over here in bed 1, well, all over the garden, what you can see is that I've put down straw mulch everywhere on this side, except for those grow bags in the back, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So we've got some thyme, some soybeans. I forgot to show you guys those in the last video. They were planted, I just forgot to talk about it. But these are a Hokkaido soybean from Baker Creek, and they are doing great. Conversely, I planted some soybeans, some seeds that I got from either Home Depot or Lowe's. Haven't seen them, haven't come up yet at all, and I planted them, I sowed them on May 16th, so they should have germinated by now, so that's weird. Put some spinach back there. I had to re-sow it because a lot of it just didn't germinate. We've got our first eggplant. I don't know if you can see her back there. Yay! Need to pick that. Eat it. Already is looking lovely. We've harvested that bok choy that was there. Here are our determinate tomatoes. They're looking good. Flowers are set, but no fruit yet. Bars. And here are some indeterminate ones. Oh, look. We got a little one on this Cherokee purple. Yay. But no other fruit set yet. Okay. This stevia is struggling. I have one on the back porch that I grew from seed that's doing fine. These ones I got from a local nursery. I don't know what's wrong with them. The kale is looking lovely. And these are indeterminate tomatoes. They look great. Got another Cherokee purple here. They seem to set fruit the fastest out of any of the larger tomatoes that I've grown this year. These nasturtium are magnificent. So back here we've got some green beans, some pole beans, and some bush beans. There's something that is eating my bush beans. You see that? They germinate and something eats it. It happened on that side as well. I think it's a locust. I saw a locust the other day. That sucker was about 4 inches long, no exaggeration. I tried to spray them with neem oil, which was ridiculous because it doesn't do anything to them. I don't know what gets rid of locusts. You guys know? And it wasn't a cicada because we're not having cicadas this year for some reason. Primarily people in the mountain areas of North Carolina are getting some, but over here where I live, closer to the coast, we are not getting any. But so, don't know. But yeah, so I think it was just a regular run-of-the-mill locust. It was huge, it was gross, and I scared him away, but I think for revenge he's come back and eaten all my green beans. So I've had to re-sow those a few times. Hey Bert. Hey, bye Bert. Strawberries are looking good. My kids kind of pick those clean, but we have a few that are still producing. Oh, I lied. Strawberry blessings. I got out here before her. My daughter usually beats me out here. Yum. Okay. Cukes. Cukes are looking good. Oh, this is so exciting. So remember I was telling you guys I have not had good luck with eggplant? This one is one I sowed, that I grew from seed indoors. And it's the first time I've actually had a flower set, believe it or not. I've tried eggplant for several years and I could never seem to get any to grow from seed. This is the first time that I've even got flower sets. I'm very excited because I think I might actually get an eggplant from seed. Yay! There's that other green bean that got its leaves eaten off, but I re-sowed one next to it and then it started to grow leaves again. So, oh well, we'll see what happens. I did spray them all with some spinosad. We'll see if that kind of keeps them away, but I don't know. These are my Mexican sour gherkins that are going to go up that trellis. The zinnias look nice. I put this pineapple sage here, but I was watching Homestead Heart and she mentioned that the pineapple sage can be invasive, and I didn't know that, so I may have to move that. Let me know if you guys have experience with sage or pineapple sage. Some more cucumbers, oregano, and chives. I ended up putting a little straw even in my potato bags. I didn't have to do this last year because last year was my first year growing potatoes and I didn't have to do anything to them as far as pest or disease, fighting disease, but this year I'm noticing a blight of sorts on the leaves on some of them. Let me see if I can get you guys a picture of that. You see those leaves and how they look unhealthy? Let's go back here. You see how these leaves are looking? It's like some sort of fungal disease. I don't know if it's blight for sure, but it definitely is some sort of fungal disease. So I went ahead and put some straw down in all of the potato bags as well. This one seems to have gotten the worst of it. These are some Austrian crescents and they have gotten a lot of damage on the leaves. So we'll see. So in this bed here, our Ground cherries are looking fabulous. I can't wait to try these. It's my first year growing them. They sound delicious. Tomatillos are looking good. I may have underestimated how big these are going to get because I just put a cage around them and already that looks inadequate. So we shall see. These are hot peppers in this bed next to the tomatillos and the ground cherries. I need to sow some more cilantro. These are sweet peppers here. They're looking good. Small but mighty. And this is our cherry tomato bed. These golden nugget cherry tomatoes I got from a local nursery last year, and I love them, so I saved the seeds. And that is the first, this one is the first cherry tomato variety that set fruit. So yeah, they're looking great, and it's full of fruit. It's kind of hard to see them while they're green, but it's full of fruit. Some of our other varieties that have bared fruit already are the sweeties, which you would expect. And I think that's it, actually. All of the other cherry tomatoes are still growing, still setting flowers, but the sweetie and the golden nugget are the ones that have set fruit already. So I planted those onions that I had sitting in the seed starting trays. I went ahead and planted those. It may be a little too late, but they weren't doing me any good in the seed starting trays either. So I went ahead and put those in. This is another tomato that I rescued from a pruning. It's an Amish paste. It's not looking so good, so it may not make it. Remember in that video I told you, sometimes they don't make it, but most of the time they do. We'll see. So here's our Eden corn and all of the green beans around. We have some pole beans and bush bean varieties all around there. This is Chinese amaranth. It tastes like spinach. It's really good. It's pretty too. And we've got some volunteer tomatoes in the walkway right here. So that little guy and that guy there. Didn't ask them to come to the party, but they're here, so guess they get to stay. And our elephant garlic. I think it's getting close to time to pick this. What do you guys think? I think so. And more amaranth here. I had two plants. One of them seems to be not doing so well, and the other one looks great. And that is everything. That is the garden for this week. As you can see, everything is starting to green up, get more lush, and we're in the stage of the game where it's a little bit more like maintenance, tying plants up, weeding, making sure that we keep an eye on pests or any kind of disease. And a lot of the heavy lifting is over, thankfully, because it is getting hot out here. Thankfully, because it is starting to get hot, I tell you, which is probably why those sweet potatoes look so good. But at any rate, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.